Hey, how's it going, guys? Sinister Skater here, and we're going over update 1.13 in this video, specifically the multiplayer changes, because there's so many freaking patch notes and changes that came out in this update. If you guys haven't downloaded the update yet, it's 11 gigabytes on both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Kind of hefty, so make sure you start that if you guys have slower internet, and it'll be coming to PC later this week. But with that said, let's hop into these multiplayer changes, man. This is going to be like a live audio book, so you don't have to read the notes yourself. Again, there's so much stuff. It could get repetitive after a while, so I may just end up reading my list of notes instead of like making segues and all that. But multiplayer had tuning galore. We're gonna start off with the assault rifles. We have 3 assault rifle buffs here. The Rampart 17 had its max damage range increased by 4 yards. The KN57 had its max damage range increased by 2 yards. And the Vapor XKG had its 5-hit kill range increased by 16 yards. So now you're doing that mid-range damage up to like 50 yards now, which is a pretty significant buff. And they also reduced the Vapor's idle sway. So they tuned the Vapor to make it more usable at range, which is going to be really, really interesting, especially with some of these SMG changes, because the Vapor was like an SMG almost before, and now it's going to be like a super long-range SMG. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, especially with the Maddox getting overall nerfed pretty hardly. They increased the recoil on the first 5 shots of the weapon. It's some pretty major kick right now. They also slowed the aim down sight speed with quick draw. They reduced the movement speed with the stock attachment, and they also increased the recoil with the ELO sight. And on consoles only, they reduced the max damage range by 3 yards. The only improvement they made to the Maddox is that they reduced the recoil with the Echo Fire Operator mod, which I kind of had a problem with before. I had some weird kick, so that might be the way to go with the Maddox now. But pretty hefty nerfs. That thing's probably not going to be on the top of the line anymore. Based off my previous like best to worst rankings and stuff, I'm saying it's going to the Vapor or the Rampart. It's going to jump up to the top AR in this game right now. Maybe Top Gun with all these other changes. Let's move into the SMGs. The MX9 and the GKS and the Damon got buffed. The MX9 had its 5-hit kill range increased by 2 yards, and they also quickened its aim down sight speed, so nice buffs to see there. The GKS had its 5-hit kill range increased by 3 yards, and the Damon had its max damage range increased by 2 yards, so all of them getting more range added into their kit. I hate to say it, but the Spitfire got nerfed, man. They reduced the Spitfire's max damage range by 2 yards. They slowed the movement speed with stock. They reduced the extended magazine size, which is so sad to see. And they slowed the reload speed bonus you get with fast mags. Like, all that just sounds really, really bad, because the Spitfire it had such a high TDK, but it lacked in all those areas where attachments could increase its reload speed and give us some more ammo. Now they're kind of dialing that back, so we'll see how the Spitfire ends up to this. The SOG 9mm got nerfed. They reduced its sprint out speed to match other SMGs. Which, I don't know. This update seems to be dialing back what some of the weapons excel in and makes them different, and kind of making all the weapons kind of similar now, which I don't really like. But back on track, they also reduced the base movement speed of the SOG to match other SMGs. They slowed down the aim down sight movement speed with stock. They reduced the recoil reduction on grip. And for consoles only, they reduced the hip fire accuracy and reduced the max damage range by 3 yards for the dual wield operator mod. So the SOG is going to be a lot worse now. And the Corda, I believe, got nerfed overall. They reduced the recoil reduction on the grip attachment, and they also, quote, reduced overheat cooldown speed on belt fed. Now, the term reduced cooldown speed, I think that means that's a nerf. You guys can verify down below in the comments if you have a better understanding than me. Lately, Treyarch's been changing like the patch note phrasings every different update. Like, they've gone from meters to yards. They're using increase and decrease and improve and reduce and ADS time and ADS speed and all these different terms. And I try to streamline all that info for my videos to make them easier to understand. But that phrasing, reduced overheat cooldown speed for the Cordite, I'm not exactly sure on. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Moving on, tactical rifles. Guys, they freaking buffed the shit out of the Auger. The Auger was already amazing, and they increased its fire rate, they increased its aim down sight movement speed, and they reduced the burst delay on the double tap operator mod. So this overall, the rate of fire got increased, and it got a movement buff. I already had an insane time to kill with high caliber 2, and now it has even less of a penalty with the operator mod with the burst delay. I'm so excited to get my hands on the new Auger. I'm probably going to use it and make a video if it's truly insane, because these buffs alone just sound really, really good. The Auger was already so good, and I can't believe they buffed it. ABR also got buffed. They improved the aim down sight movement speed and improved the sprint out speeds, and the Swordfish got buffed. They improved the ADS movement speed, and then they also improved the quick draw to aim down sight speed to make it even more significant of an upgrade. And alongside the super awesome Auger buff, we had the Titan LMG getting nerfed. I have big oof noted next to my notes here. The Titan got neutered, guys. They reduced the max damage range from 46 per shot to 36 damage per shot, which is the same as the Hades, making the Titan now a 5-shot kill weapon. That is a 0.625 time to kill, I believe, officially making it the slowest killing weapon in the game. It had like a 0.5 before, which was really, really close to the worst, and now it's definitely the worst time to kill in the game. They also increased the flinch when using the Titan, and they reduced the aim down sight movement speed with SOC. And the Titan wasn't good before, but now it's really, really bad. The only good thing about the Titan was spraying and praying with the Oppressor. That's what really needs to be nerfed, not the damage. It's going to be very bad now. I know people love to complain about it because of the Oppressor and people use it all the time, but it's really not that good of a weapon. As for sniper rifles, we have 2 buffs here. The Outlaw on console got buffed. They increased the fire rate, which is hard to believe, to make it even shoot faster. And the Koshka got buffed. They reduced its idle sway, which is nice to see because that had the most out of all the snipers. And they also improved the aim down sight speed with Quick Draw 2 on console only, which is really, really nice to see. That's a really awesome buff alongside the Auger, because the Koshka already excelled in like quick scoping and all that. As for pistols, we also have an exciting buff. The RK7 had increased damage at all ranges. That's all it says. It just got an overall buff. Hopefully it's going to be usable now, because the thing was a piece of trash before. We got 2 more weapon buffs with the shotguns. The MOG 12 got a buff. They increased the max damage range by a half a yard. They improved the aim down sight speed with the quick draw. And Dragon's Breath now does, quote, 1 quick blast of fire damage instead of damage over time, increasing its 1-hit kill potential. Not certain if that means the damage over time has been completely removed, or if it just hits harder at the beginning. I'm curious to see how this change plays out, but the biggest buff for the MOG 12 comes with the barrel choke attachment. They improved the barrel choke accuracy, pellet damage, and its max damage range on console only, which sounds like a very, very good buff and might make the MOG 12 actually usable. SG-12 also got a little mini nerf. It's not that big, but the strobe on the strobe light operator mod had its brightness reduced, so it's not as overpowered visually. Whew! Yeah, that was all weapon changes. We still got some, a couple other things to go over. As for Specialist, Prophet got nerfed. The Seeker drone is now easier to destroy, and Cold-Blooded is now a better counter to the Seeker drone. Ajax also had a nerfed. They further reduced the flashbang opacity on the screen, and you can now change stances when you are flashed, so you can actually prone while you're flashed, and I hope this carries over into Blackout, please, David Vonderhaar. Equipment and gear. The frag grenade had its damage just straight up increased, so it is stronger now. Now you can also self-stun yourself with the concussion grenade, and the acoustic sensor got nerfed. They reduced the range of detection, and they reduced the range that enemies with dead silence are detected, making it a little bit of a worse piece of gear to use. We have 2 perk changes. Tactical Mask kinda got reworked and buffed. You recover faster from Prophet's Tempest shots, which is really, really nice to see. Another counter to Prophet, which people are complaining about. You also no longer raise your hands while you are flashed or concussed, so you can see more of your screen. But the one change to Tactical Mask is that it no longer reduces fire and radiation resistance. That trait got moved over to Flat Jacket, which now reduces the fire and radiation damage. Second to last bit in this video, we have Scorestreak Changes. In hardcore modes, Scorestreak kills no longer count towards the kick limit, which is great. You can now use things like the Thresher and the Lightning Strike without the stress of being kicked. We also had a lot of score streaks being buffed. No nerfs, just a lot of buffs for all the following score streaks. The lightning strike now has reduced delay between targeting and when the jets arrive. The sentry gun has increased damage, increased sentry target remembrance after losing a line of sight with an enemy, so it'll kind of linger there and wait for an enemy to peek out if they're dumb enough to do that. It also has increased detection range. The drone squad has increased damage. The sniper's nest now requires one more rocket to be destroyed. The Mantis has increased explosive damage radius. The Thresher has increased chain gun explosive radius and damage, and also increased vehicle health. And finally, the Strike Team has increased awareness radius and increased health regen rate. And some of these score streaks are kind of already oppressive, so it's going to be interesting to see how those play out as well. And last but not least, nothing too major, but they finally fixed an issue where creative class slots unlocked through prestiging would have a non-functional equipment slot and would automatically remove that equipment. And that was irritating, so it's nice to see that they finally fixed that. So, that is all the multiplayer changes that came with this giant freaking weapon balance in 1.13. Again, lots of stuff here. You can already see this video is long as hell, so we're going to be going over the blackout changes, which had some pretty significant changes as well. A long list of changes in a video that will be going up shortly after this one. We also had the Operation Grand Heist overview going up before this video, so if you guys missed that, be sure to check the cards right now. I'll have it pop up on the screen. But yeah, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, you know the drill. Links down below in the description for 10% off Control Freaks as well as any day apparel. You can also find my Amazon associates link down there if you want to support the channel by shopping through that link. But again, thanks for watching, guys. My name's Scorestreak Changes. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.